You say you're ready to lead at $1 million level, but you're still outsourcing your power to whatever random life circumstances are happening at the moment. So here's the $1 million question. How do you continue to lead yourself even when life is lifing? The real flex isn't what you do when everything's flowing. It's who you become when the universe hits shuffle, like on the iPod, and you still choose to move like a leader who already has everything that she wants, who's already creating everything that she wants. And so obviously on today's episode, we're talking about what it really means to be the kind of leader whose bank account, whose body, and whose boundaries all say, I trust myself, even when things feel uncertain. The times when I've felt the most in my power and in my self-trust has actually been when shit hits the fan, and I know that I'm capable of guiding myself through it. And because of that trust, because of that self-trust, because of that ability to trust myself, I always get resourceful. I always find a way through it. And that's also what all of my clients who are really creating and living their dreams, that's what they're doing too. They don't let life become the excuse for why they can't do the thing that they say that they want to do. They let life happening become the reason and the motivation and the inspiration behind continuing to go for it and take action every single day anyway. So if this is already landing, if this is already feeling powerful for you, you're definitely going to want my free training and ebook, cheat sheet, Relax Recurring Revenue. It's fucking phenomenal, and it breaks down exactly how I stopped waiting for my life to feel stable before building consistent income. The link is down in the show notes, so go ahead and grab it. It's free, and the free ebook that comes with this alone could completely change your life. So there's the free ebook, and then there's a 3-part mini course that goes with it. Literally life-changing. So the first part here is really the myth of telling ourselves, I'm going to do this thing when I feel ready. Where are you still waiting for space in your calendar, for your nervous system to calm down, for your family dynamic to stabilize, for your health to change, for your schedule to change, for your baby to start sleeping through the night? Where are you waiting for external circumstances that you do not have control over to change before you actually go all in? Where are you telling yourself, yeah, I'm ready to make millions, I'm ready to have thousands of people in my offers, I'm ready to go to the next level, but you're not actually taking action like that person yet. So one of the moments in my life where things felt really, really chaotic and I still chose to act from my highest self was when my husband and I, we weren't married yet, we were still just dating. We went through a really, really hard season in our relationship, and we actually broke up for a couple of weeks, and it was all very sudden, very unexpected, and to be honest, I was completely blindsided. I did not see it coming. It was completely unexpected, and it was really, really hard. And it was one of those times where every single day I was waking up, if I slept well that night, if I slept much, I was like crying myself to sleep every night, crying in the mornings. I was angry. I was doing lots of different practices and rituals and different things to just allow all of the feeling that was coming up inside of me to move through me. And right when that happened, right when I started feeling all of that intensity, I decided that I was going to be launching my course that I had previously created this course, but I wanted to run a live version of it. And it's Multi-Orgasmic Goddess, if you've heard of that one, through the Sexual Kung Fu business. I wanted to run that for a couple of different reasons. One was to give myself some individual, focus, something to focus on outside of what was going on in my life. And also just to create extra income, to really allow myself to go all in on my business. And, it's one of those moments where it's like I could have allowed the chaos that was going on inside of me and around me. At that same time, we were also moving. We had just got a new lease on the next place. We had signed it for a year, so we were actually living separately because our previous lease that we were renting hadn't ended yet, so we were living in 2 different places. We were moving things to the other house. There was a lot of friendship circle drama that was going on at the same time, and it would have just been so easy to be like, you know what? Business can take the back burner. It's not that important right now. I'm just going to feel all of my stuff. I'm going to wallow in self-pity and boo-hoo and poor me. Instead, I didn't. I stepped up. I fucking did the thing, and I showed myself what I'm capable of. And that ended up being my biggest launch solo for my own program to up to date at that point. I think it was like 2021 maybe? It might have been 2021. And then, I continued to show up in my own leadership. I continued to lead and guide myself. And on the other side of that, we ended up coming back together. We ended up really mending a lot of things that we knew needed to shift anyway. And obviously, I think like a year later we got engaged. And then a year or two later we got married. And now we've been married for 3 years. And we've been together for 8 years, minus that 2-week period. And, our business has been thriving. I started my own business again and have really allowed myself to skyrocket with that. And it's just really proof that if you only lead yourself when it's easy, that's actually not leadership. It's codependency that's dressed up as strategy. So some of you are making $1 million decisions in an energy that wouldn't even sustain a target run. So really be auditing yourself and reflecting for yourself on where are you maybe speaking that you're ready for the $1 million business, you're speaking that you're ready for thousands and thousands of clients, but your energy, your identity, your self-belief are showing something very, very different. And really speaking about this whole identity piece, that's something that I go way more in depth into inside of Endless Sunday Energy, which is my audio subscription. It's a whole year of getting 3 different audios at least per week. Sometimes I'll send more, and it's really all about this internal identity, because how we see ourselves, how we perceive ourselves, and how that then impacts how we show up in the world, that's 80% of our business. Strategy is about 20%. And I teach strategy too inside of 7-Figure Freedom Method, but Endless Sunday Energy is really where you become the $1 million leader that you have to be in order to build not only a big business that can hold a lot of people, that can lead powerful transformations, that can hold a lot of money, but to actually sustain that long term. Today is April 10th, and on the 1st I celebrated 10 years in business. I haven't been in business for 10 years because every time life got hard, I flaked. Every time I got sick, or a family member died, or I had a breakup, or my health went under the weather, or I don't know, a fucking hurricane hit, or I was traveling and didn't have service for a month when we were in China last year. I never let any of those circumstances get in the way of me doing what I said I was going to do, doing what I promised myself I would do, doing what I promised my clients I would do. And that's because of my identity. That's because of how I see myself. That's because of my internal beliefs. That's because of my self-belief, my self-trust. So you've got to choose yourself even when your circumstances don't. So the real cost of making circumstantial decisions is that you start shaping your identity around what's happening, which is always a thing in the past. When we're focusing on, oh, this person made this comment about me, oh, this many people didn't sign up for my program, I don't know, my partner and I broke up, I got sick. Even if it's still happening right now, when we're thinking about that, we're thinking about it in the past. And you can't move forward if you're always looking backwards. So instead, you really want to focus on who you're becoming and allow that to pull you forward. This is why I always recommend for my clients to have a vision board on your phone background. I don't know if you guys, I tried to tap my phone as if that would help you see it better. There you go. Have a vision board on your phone background, have a vision board on your laptop background, have sticky notes around your house if that helps you, have art and images that remind you of where you're going around your house. Just constantly have those bigger visions that you have for yourself around you to, again, remind you of who you are becoming, because that is what is really going to shift things for you, rather than focusing on and looking to the past as proof that what you want's not possible. So what are you currently negotiating your power around in exchange for someone else's comfort? Is it that you're not showing up on social media as powerfully as you know you could because I don't know, your mom's watching, or your childhood best friend is watching, or your old boss is watching, or whoever it is that just feels like you're worried that they're just going to be judging you. You're worried that they're going to make you feel less than. Whatever it is. You know, I made an Instagram post the other day talking about if you go to Chipotle and they're out of guac, but you really wanted guac that day. Maybe guac was the whole reason you went that day, but they're out. And so you say, all right, I'll just get the corn dip instead. I'll just get pico de gallo instead. When you continuously make compromises like that, where you're like, I really want this, and I can create it right now in this moment, I can bring that in, but you keep on making compromises, do miracles happen after that? Do you suddenly find $1 million on the ground? No. It's a breeding ground for more mediocrity. It's a breeding ground for more meh. Meh. Things are okay. It's alright. It's not great, but it's okay. That's what we're creating when we keep negotiating our power in exchange for someone else's comfort. And obviously in business, you know, it all shows up in different ways, but the way that I like to look at this is that life is not testing you. It's training you to be able to hold more. It's training you to be able to expand and grow in all the ways that you really need to in order to hold that $1 million business, in order to hold thousands of clients, in order to hold the responsibility of a massive impact. So if your nervous system has been trying to scale and been trying to grow to these bigger numbers without actually having support, or maybe not having the right kind of support, and your soul is just freaking screaming for a space to lead, like the rich healer that you know that you are, that you know that you're meant to be, the rich and rested mastermind was literally made for you. Because inside of this 6-week mastermind, you're really going to be stepping into a portal where creating $30,000 months and beyond without sacrificing your softness, your relaxation, the gentleness, the self-trust, and the acceptance of your soul, of what you really, really need in every moment, of being able to actually move through your business and the world and client sessions in integrity. When you allow yourself to do that, you can actually grow, you can actually scale. And you know that you didn't come here to just build a giant business that blows you out. I hope it doesn't blow you out. You didn't come here to build a big business that burns you out. And I hope it doesn't make you blow out either. I'm just imagining how they talk about baby diaper blowouts. If your business is making you do that, there's a big problem. So you actually came here to lead in a way that feels like silk, to rest like royalty, and to cash fucking checks with clarity, to be posting on social media with certainty that what I'm posting right now is actually going to lead to clients. I'm not just posting for the fuck of it, for shits and giggles. So the link again is going to be down in the show notes, and there's only 8 spaces available total. So we start at the end of April. It's going to be fucking incredible. We're mostly focusing on our social media and growing our business in a way that allows us to be both rich and well rested. Because like I said, it's a lot of the internal stuff, the inner work, the nervous system work, the belief work, the identity work, that's then going to reflect how we're showing up on social media, how we're showing up on our client calls. So information for that is down below, or you can just DM me on Instagram to hear more about it, or send me an email. Respond to any of the emails that I send you if you're on the email list, the email fam. So let's talk about the practice of becoming the one who always leads. And I want you to think about leadership like it's a lighthouse. It doesn't chase storms, right? It stays rooted and allows the ships to find it. So whenever it feels like life is swirling, like life is crazy, like life is too much to handle right now, what I like to do is just give myself permission to feel all of it. I might literally set a timer on my phone for 60 seconds, or I have a bunch of different Spotify playlists that I'll use for this as well. I might just choose one song and be like, okay, for this one song, I'm going to fully feel whatever's coming up right now. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to make noise. I'm going to punch and kick. I'm going to cry. I'm going to scream. Whatever my body needs to do right now to move this life that's moving through me, I'm gonna give myself permission to do that. And if I end up needing 2, 3, 4 songs, that's okay too. If I end up needing an hour, that's okay. But what I don't allow myself to do is stay in that for a whole day, stay in that for multiple days, stay in that for a whole week. And I will say, I know that that's not easy, but even a few weeks ago when we had to put down one of our bunnies, I was still able to find moments where I could allow myself to fully feel what I felt about that, what I felt about having to unexpectedly say goodbye to a pet, to continue to build my business, to continue to show up for my clients, to continue to do the things that I need to do for myself. And sometimes when you're really deep in those things, it looks a bit different. Maybe during those times, it is mostly feeling sad for a majority of the day or majority of the week, as you allow the emotions to move through. And it's almost the opposite. It's almost like, okay, let me put on a song and see if I can find just 5 minutes to find inspiration to create something, to find motivation, to continue building this thing that I promised myself I was going to build, that I promised my clients I was going to build, that I promised my kids I was going to build. Let me find the time to create that and prioritize it. So let today be the day that you stop asking yourself, what if it goes wrong? What if I do this thing and everything crumbles? What if I do this thing and people try to cancel me? What if I do this thing and there's backlash? What if I do this thing and I lose some people that I love? Let today be the day that you stop focusing on that and that you start asking yourself, what if I become the one who leads anyway? What if I become the one who's capable of continuing to do this anyway, no matter what? So this is how we stay calibrated to that energy of effortless overflow. It's not because it's actually effortless. It's because we're choosing that our mission and our legacy and the people that we're here to support and the things that we're here to help them create, the transformations we're here to help support other people through, that's more important than wallowing all day, every day, over and over and over again. We have to snap ourselves out of that pattern if we're going to move forward. And I already mentioned this earlier, but that's exactly what I'm helping you do inside of Endless Sunday Energy. Is there's audio drops, like I mentioned. It's really all about feminine leadership upgrades. And just a fun fact, my husband and I, obviously we run a business together, a tantra business, and it's mostly, in case you're not familiar, it's mostly around men's sexual health, men's sexual pleasure. It's helping men overcome performance anxiety, PE, erectile dysfunction, like all different kinds of things in men's sexual health realm. And obviously, because of who we are, that's integrating both like physical health, emotional health, energetic health, qigong practices, meditation, breathwork, all these things. But even though we have a business that's so focused on like masculine energy, my husband, with the exception of one person, refuses to learn business from men. He only takes advice from me and from the women that I learn business from, because it's such a more soft approach to business rather than like the Gary Vee or Grant Cardone style of or Alex Hormozy and Layla Hormozy of just like, sleep when you're dead, just keep going, push through, figure it out, make it happen. There's a balance, right? There's nuance to this. And that's really what we're doing inside of Endless Sunday Energy, is allowing you to step into what really feels like that like slow, sensual Sunday energy, like a spring morning where you just wake up and you hear the birds chirping and the breeze is coming through and it feels perfect, like it's the perfect temperature of the day, and the sun's coming through the windows and everything is like golden, and it feels like this day might go on for 1,000 years because it's just so magical feeling. This is what I help you make your entire business feel like inside of Endless Sunday Energy. So you are already the leader that you've been waiting for. You're already the person that you have been claiming yourself to be. You're already the leader who is ready for $1 million business, multi-million-dollar business, who is ready for thousands of clients joining every single offer that you put out there. And when life happens, it's just giving you the reps to remember. It's just like a gym workout. You don't go to the gym once, do a really hard workout, and then suddenly have six-pack abs and huge biceps and shoulders and like strong legs. You have to keep going over and over and over again, and as you do, those muscles build up and muscle memory builds up. It's the same thing with your business, and the first few times that you do this are going to feel the hardest, and the first times when you're experiencing something new, it's going to feel the hardest. But then, just like doing reps, the more that you continue to lead yourself through those things, the easier it's going to feel. And so, if this episode felt really supportive for you, I would absolutely love and be so grateful if you would screenshot it and share it in your Instagram stories and tag me. First off, I want to celebrate your power publicly. I want to hype you up and shout you out and be like, look at how fucking incredible this human is, and look at the incredible work that they're doing in the world. And it really, really, really supports this channel when you share this with other people, when you share this with your audience, when you show them, hey, I found this helpful, I found this supportive, go check it out. Not only does that help support my business, but it helps so many more healers who are here to do really powerful work in the world get in front of more people, because that's the number one problem that I find almost every single healer has, is that they're really, really, really fucking good at what they do, like exceptional at what they do, especially like hands-on work and just like one-on-one work with their clients, but they're not getting paid like the exceptional healers that they are. And I think that's one of the biggest disservices that exists in our world, because I say this all the time, but if we didn't have healers, we wouldn't have a planet, we wouldn't have each other, we wouldn't have food. Like, if we didn't have healers who were doing everything that they can to take care of all the different pieces of our world, we wouldn't have animals. Everything would be extinct by now, including us. Healers should be getting paid. Like, that's how powerful their work is, because it's true, it is. So, you're also really helping create that kind of a world when you share this work with other people. So, I'd be honored if you do, and check out the links in the description, and I'll see you next time.